Doing today, day 2 in the books. Day 1, we really talked about, as I told you, the 10 points, working on it, making sure that things are going well, going as planned. Today we worked on a little bit more. We were introduced to the new PowerPoint for the perspective. Quite lengthy. You really take your 10 points and apply it. A little more information is required, a little more dialogue between you and the professor, more one-on-one, where they make sure that you're going forward in the right direction with your 10 points, understanding that the different variables coming in, quantitative and qualitative. You really get to hone in and explain the reason why you are going in the route that you're going. One thing I'm going to stress that they stress look at the time that you're planning to graduate, the date that you're looking at, if it's 2021, 22, or 23. For example, if it's 23 or 22, don't count the year 22 as one of the 5 that you have to use. Just take that as you only have 4 years. For example, if it's 20, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. That's 18 is the latest that you can have in your gap statement. But if you're looking for your gap, anything beyond 2018, if you're graduating in 22, cannot be used. You can use it in your history, you can use it throughout, but just know that when it comes to the gap, and I think in your theoretical foundation, that you can only use 2018 and above. And the year changes as 21, 22, 23. It would move 19 to 20. So just keep that in mind. And also remember, only 75% of your paper out of 100%, when you look at your citations, have to be from 2018 and above. And you can only have 25% of all your citations under that, later than 2018 in your whole entire program. So keep that in mind as you're looking for your citations, your references, and things of that nature. Make sure you look at that timetable. I know it might sound a little confusing, but just remember, if you look at whatever your date is, just count back 4 years and you'll be safe. So keep that in mind. But today was a little easier for me because I was pretty much comfortable with my 10 points. I came in with the idea that I was ready to work, and believe it or not, I worked on my perspective, my dissertation proposals perspective that is in our GCU and not GCU, but the DC network. I got that and I started working on that earlier in the year, and I start pulling some of that information today and apply it to my template. And I also kept revising my 10-point perspective. For you all that are coming to residence in the next couple weeks, a couple months, make sure that you look at your 10 points perspective, update it, look at your citations, look at your reference, make sure everything is in alignment, make sure that is keyword alignment, that you go through and make sure that if you have one thing in order, that it goes that same order throughout your whole 10 points, because it's going to show later on. And if you can start working on alignment now, you won't have that problem later on as we start moving closer to your perspective, your proposal, and then into the dissertation. So there's not much really we can talk about today. It's just basically just honing in on your proposal, actually not your proposal, but your perspective, the template for it, making sure that you got all that information there. Focus on your design work, your measurement scales if you're quantitative. Look at what you need for qualitative as well to make sure that you're right. Being that I'm a quantitative research, it's kind of hard for me to speak on qualitative because I didn't focus on that. I'm sorry to say, it's not my bag, so I just left it alone. But for those that are, there's the guidelines there, and also that templates give you information that would help you along the way. So I hope this is helpful for you. Tomorrow maybe I have a little bit more for you all. But right now, if I would share anything with you, is to make sure you focus on your 10-point perspective. Start looking at your dissertation template for your perspective. Start looking at that slide that you have to create, and start trying to fill it in now. Try to fill it with the information that you have, and then let them clean it up for you when you get to your residency. Ask plenty of questions. I gave them about 10 questions. It came from the perspective of what to expect before coming. paper, the better you are. So work on that. If you haven't got your content expert, it's probably time for you to start to look for one. Remember, as long as they have a PhD or ED or have completed a dissertation and they can show proof that they did, maybe you can look for them as a content expert. If not, you can always get one to be a coach. I mean, someone that can help you run through the process, encourage you and strengthen you. I would tell you this: if you are going to residency and you went to Resident 1 and you have associated with some people, try to keep that team alive, because you're going to need somebody to coach you through. You need somebody to be able to be in there. And it's nothing like somebody that's on your side who knows the process, that knows what you're going through, or is in the fight with you, that's going through it at the same time. Sometimes just bouncing something off of someone is relief, and it takes away that stress from you. So my encouraging word for you is, don't get overwhelmed with nothing. Don't go too far advanced, but just continue to work on a steady pace to achieve your goal. Because in a minute, we're going to be pressing, we're going to be running, we're going to be making it happen. But we want to be able to do that with the idea and the concept we know what we're doing, instead of running in the dark and running into things. We want to be able to be in a hurry, but be strategically in line as we're going fast, on a fast pace, where we are in control of that, not losing control of what's around us, and also having that break to know when time to take some air, to take some time out, to step away, and then re-engage later. So, hey, this is day 2. I'll let you know what day 3 happens tomorrow. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you again.